Let me tell you something real. This idea that you're waiting for the right moment is the very thing holding you back, because the truth is, the moment you've been waiting for is already here. Right now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel more confident or when everything lines up perfectly, because life doesn't work like that. In the style of Eric Thomas, you've got to understand that greatness isn't built in perfect conditions. It's built in the middle of uncertainty, fear, and pressure. You keep looking around comparing yourself, thinking you need more time, more resources, more validation, but what you really need is to make a decision. A decision that this moment matters, a decision that you matter. Because every second you hesitate, someone else is stepping into their moment with the same fear you're feeling right now, but they're choosing action anyway. And that's the difference. This is your moment not because it's easy, but because it's available. You woke up today, that means you've got another shot, another opportunity to push, to grind, to become something greater than you were yesterday. But here's the problem. Most people let moments pass them by because they're waiting to feel ready. Let me break it to you. You will never feel 100% ready. Fear doesn't disappear before action. It disappears because of action. So if you're waiting for confidence before you start, you're already behind. Confidence is built in the doing, in the struggle, in the repetition. This moment is your training ground. It's where you prove to yourself that you're not average, that you're not going to settle, that you're willing to do what others won't. And it's not about doing something huge all at once. It's about showing up when you don't feel like it, staying disciplined when it's boring, pushing forward when nobody's clapping for you. That's what makes this moment powerful. Not the spotlight, not the applause, but the work you put in when nobody's watching. Because one day, all those small moments add up to something big, but only if you take them seriously. Only if you treat every opportunity like it matters, because it does. You don't get unlimited chances. Time doesn't rewind, so every moment you waste is a moment you can't get back. And that's why you've got to attack this one like it's everything, because in a way it is. This is where your habits are built. This is where your mindset is shaped. This is where your future is decided. Not in some distant dream, but right here, right now. So stop overthinking it. Stop doubting yourself. Stop asking, what if I fail? And start asking, what if I don't try? Because that regret will hit harder than any failure ever could. This is your moment to rise, your moment to grow, your moment to take control of your life and stop letting circumstances control you. And nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to hand it to you. You've got to take it. You've got to claim it. You've got to own it with everything you've got, because at the end of the day, the difference between people who succeed and people who don't isn't talent. It's who shows up when it matters most. So the question is simple. Are you going to let this moment pass, or are you going to step up and make it yours? Let's get something straight. If you're feeling pressure right now, if your chest feels tight, if your mind is racing and you're thinking this is too much, that's not a sign to quit. That's a sign that this is your moment. In the spirit of Eric Thomas, pressure isn't something to run from. It's something to rise into. You want success. You want greatness. Then you've got to understand that pressure is part of the process. Nobody becomes strong in comfort. Nobody builds a legacy sitting back, waiting for life to get easy. That discomfort you feel, that's growth knocking at your door. That's life testing you, asking you a simple question. Are you built for this? And the way you respond right now determines everything. Most people, when they feel pressure, they fold. They panic. They start making excuses. They tell themselves it's too hard, that they're not ready, that maybe this isn't for them. But the truth is, it's not that they're not capable. It's that they're not willing to push through the discomfort. And that's where you've got to be different. You've got to train your mind to see pressure as an opportunity, not a problem. Because every time you push through when it's hard, every time you keep going when your mind is telling you to stop, you're building something powerful inside you, resilience. And resilience is what separates the average from the elite. Think about it. Every successful person you admire, every high performer, every champion, they didn't get there because life was easy for them. They got there because they learned how to perform under pressure. They learned how to stay focused when everything around them was chaotic. They learned how to control their emotions instead of letting their emotions control them. And that's what this moment is demanding from you. It's not asking you to be perfect. It's asking you to be present, to be strong, to be willing to fight through the discomfort. Because pressure reveals who you really are. It exposes your habits, your mindset, your level of discipline. And if you've been preparing, if you've been putting in the work even when nobody was watching, then this pressure is your stage. This is your time to show what you're made of. But if you haven't been preparing, if you've been procrastinating, avoiding the work, then yeah, it's going to feel overwhelming. But even then, you've still got a choice. You can either let this pressure break you, or you can let it build you. And here's the key. You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to take the next step. One step, then another, then another. That's how you move through pressure, not by standing still and overthinking, but by moving forward, even if it's messy, even if it's uncomfortable. Because action creates clarity, action builds confidence, and the more you act, the more you realize that you're stronger than you thought. So instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what is this trying to teach me? Because every moment of pressure carries a lesson. Every challenge is shaping you into someone greater, but only if you embrace it, only if you refuse to back down. This is your moment, not in spite of the pressure, but because of it. This is where you grow. This is where you evolve. This is where you prove to yourself that you're not weak, that you're not average, that you're capable of more than you ever imagined. So don't run from the pressure, step into it, own it, use it, because on the other side of this discomfort is the version of you you've been trying to become all along. Here's the reality. Most people don't want to hear this moment you're in right now will never come back. Not tomorrow, not next year, not ever. Time doesn't rewind, and opportunities don't wait for you to figure yourself out. In the voice and intensity of Eric Thomas, you've got to understand that you either own this moment or you lose it, simple as that. There is no middle ground. There is no I'll try later. Later is a lie we tell ourselves to feel comfortable while we avoid the work. But comfort is expensive. It costs you your dreams, your growth, your potential. Every time you choose to delay action, every time you let fear make your decisions, you're training yourself to stay stuck. And the scary part, it becomes a habit. You start settling without even realizing it. You start accepting less, doing less, being less. And before you know it, years have passed and you're wondering why nothing changed. That's why this moment matters so much. Because it's not just about what you do right now. It's about who you become by what you choose right now. Ownership is everything. You can't blame your past, your environment, your lack of resources. At some point, you've got to look in the mirror and say, it's on me. That's not a burden, that's power. Because when you take full responsibility, you take back control. And when you're in control, you can change your life. But it starts with a decision, a real decision, not a weak I'll try, but a strong I will. You've got to decide that this moment is yours to take, no matter how uncomfortable it feels. And let's be honest, It's going to feel uncomfortable. Growth always does. Stepping up always does. Doing something you've never done before always comes with doubt, fear, and uncertainty. But those feelings aren't signals to stop. They're signals that you're stepping outside your comfort zone. And that's exactly where you need to be if you want to grow. The people who succeed, the ones who rise to the top, they're not fearless, they just don't let fear control them. They feel it, but they act anyway. They understand that fear is temporary, but regret lasts a lifetime. And that's the choice you're facing right now, temporary discomfort or long-term regret. You can either push yourself, take the risk, and step into your potential, or you can play it safe and wonder what if for the rest of your life. But understand this clearly, every time you choose courage, you get stronger. Every time you take action, you build momentum, and momentum is powerful. It creates progress, it creates belief, it turns small wins into big results, but it all starts with this one moment, this one decision. Are you going to show up, or are you going to shrink back? Are you going to own your life, or let your circumstances own you? Because nobody else can make that choice for you. Nobody else can take that step for you. This is your responsibility, your opportunity, your moment, and if you don't take it, it's gone. So stop waiting, stop hesitating, stop doubting, step up, take control, and prove to yourself that you're capable of more. Because at the end of the day, it's not about having the perfect conditions. It's about having the courage to act in imperfect ones, and that courage, it's built right here, right now, in this very moment. Let's be honest, half effort will never change your life. You can't step into your moment with 1 foot in and 1 foot out, hoping somehow things will magically work in your favor. It doesn't work like that. In the powerful, no excuses mindset of Eric Thomas, if you want results, if you want to transform your life, you've got to go all in mentally, physically, emotionally. This is your moment, and moments like this demand everything you've got. Not excuses, not hesitation, not I'll try. They demand commitment, because the truth is, average effort produces average results, and deep down, you already know you're capable of more than average. But potential means nothing if you don't act on it with intensity. You can't keep negotiating with your goals, telling yourself you'll do it tomorrow, telling yourself you'll give it your best when you feel ready. That feeling might never come, and even if it does, it won't last. Discipline is what carries you when motivation fades. So if you're serious about making this your moment, you've got to lock in. You've got to eliminate distractions, cut off the excuses, and focus like your life depends on it. Because in many ways it does. The life you want, the success you dream about, the version of yourself you keep imagining. It's on the other side of consistent, focused, relentless effort. And that kind of effort only comes when you go all in. Think about it. Every time you give less than your best, you're reinforcing a habit of holding back. You're teaching yourself that it's okay to settle, and over time that mindset becomes your reality. But when you go all in, when you give everything you've got, even when it's hard, even when you're tired, even when nobody is watching, you build a different identity. You become someone who finishes what they start, someone who doesn't quit when it gets uncomfortable, someone who shows up no matter what, and that identity is powerful. It carries you through the tough days, the setbacks, the moments when you feel like giving up, because those moments will come. There will be days when you doubt yourself, when progress feels slow, when nothing seems to be working. And if you're only halfway committed, those are the days you'll quit. But if you're all in, those are the days you push harder. That's the difference. That's what separates people who dream from people who achieve. Going all in doesn't mean you have everything figured out. It means you're willing to give everything you have to figure it out. It means you stop waiting for perfect conditions and start creating your own opportunities. It means you take responsibility for your actions, your mindset, your results, and most importantly, it means you refuse to settle for less than what you're capable of. This moment you're in right now, it's your chance to make that shift, to stop playing small, to stop holding back, to stop giving just enough to get by. It's your chance to step up and give everything you've got. Because at the end of the day, you don't regret the times you went all in, you regret the times you didn't try hard enough, the times you let fear win, the times you walked away too soon. So don't let this be one of those moments. Don't let this opportunity slip through your hands because you were afraid to commit fully, go all in, push yourself, give everything you've got, because this is your moment. And if you treat it like it matters, it can change your life forever.